What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So at this point, the Clippers definitely have to have everybody step up. Everybody has to be accountable. Everybody has to be more alert on offense and defense going into this season. There's a lot of questions about this team this season. There's a lot of questions about how they are offensively after losing Paul George. How will they fare in regards to who's going to be in the starting lineup and how will the bench look? How will the balance of the offense go? Now, defensively, I would say they definitely look a lot much improved. I mean, having Mo Bamba, you got Derrick Jones Jr., you got back Nico Batum, and plus you got some young studs on defense and, hungry guys on the roster as well with the Clippers. And defensively, I definitely think they're going to be a team that, no team is really going to want to deal with. But there are two players that I would say specifically that I think that will definitely have to have an impact and beyond for the Clippers to really actually be a contending type team and a team that has a lot of fluidity, within their offense and defense, I would say. And one of the players, of course, is Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac, he just got a contract, $58 million, close to $60 million, might as well round it off. And when we think about his last contract, which was a couple years ago, I think that was $33 million. Now they upped it now they damn near doubled it. So, I mean, that's almost maybe not literally saying double the production, but at the same time, the production is going to have to go up. And I think Ivica Zubac, I think he's okay with it. But the problem is the Clippers I feel like they're very hesitant to pull the trigger on Zubac because of his inconsistency. Now, we can say he had inconsistency maybe due to the fact of all the stars on the team and all the firepower they had. He wasn't really getting, his opportunity to shine in a way to where he could be more valuable for the team and an asset to the team offensively, like he probably would have liked to, simply because they had so many other options. But now this is the time for him to show a lot more. This is the time for him to show that, he is that anchor, that staple big man that they're going to need going forward. And, I think the first one or two games last playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks, he played very good, but that's just usually the MO with Zubac. He'll have several or some good games here and there, but then he'll just, go on a hiatus here and there as well. So, I mean, this year specifically, you got your new contract. You're, a little bit richer than what you were previous years. And now it requires more work from you and more requirements have to be met. And I think that Zubac is going to have to, put up or shut up this year specifically, because, I mean, even though them giving him this contract, the Clippers would definitely, be willing to trade him possibly next year if he doesn't, play better going into this season. I mean, honestly, that's only a $58 million contract. I know $58 million only is not the word to use because that's a lot of money, but it's very slim money when you have a lot of players in the league that, may not even have as big as name or a name like his in the NBA or haven't played that long in the NBA like he has and make more money. So, I mean, the $58 million they're giving him is good for the big man position at this point in the NBA, the way it is now, because it's all predicated off of perimeter shooting. But at the same time, that is an increase in his wages. So, I mean, it has to be an increase in his production. That's just the way it is. And I expect Clippers fans to expect more out of Zubac because, honestly, you've been here for 6-7 years, 5-6 years or something like that on this team. And you have been a part of definitely the more downs than ups, I would say, simply because injuries and all these things that's happened to the Clippers, the bubble and all this stuff since they came together. He's definitely been through a lot with this team, the ups and downs, ebbs and flows, however you want to say it. So, I mean, it's time for him to really actually stand up and, put up more solid numbers in regards to consistency. I mean, if he can give the Clippers maybe, I don't know, maybe about a good 15 and 12 a night consistently, and, have, some games where he's basically dominating in the paint. They can't do nothing to stop him because he has a good touch around the rim. He's he has a feathery touch around the rim, good hands. He can move his feet pretty good. He can kind of, post up a little bit and score on his own. He's not really one of those centers where you got to just throw him lobs and alleys the whole time, which is definitely a plus in his favor. So, I mean, we're going to need to see more from Azubuike, especially now that the floor is open offensively, the fact that PG is gone. And another player that I want to highlight specifically in regards to that is Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann has been around for a few years now himself. He's been in the starting lineup, and he has seen the best of the best with Kawhi, PG, and all of them. He's played with them. He's been in practice with them, off seasons, all the above. And it's time for him to step up now, because now that Paul George is gone, maybe he won't be so hesitant to pull that trigger and shooting that three-pointer that actually last year and one or two seasons before that, he shot a pretty decent percentage. I think last year at some point he shot like 37% from the 3-point line, which is not bad, for him at the stage he's at in his career. Of course, you would like him to shoot a little bit better. Of course, better is always good, but at the same time, that's really good for a player like Terrence Mann, and especially shooting that percentage. He didn't shoot that all year last year, but he shot it for a stint, and he's shown that he can knock down that three. But I think one thing, or one reason why he's been hesitant offensively, was because of Paul George and all the other offensive firepower that they have. So, I mean, maybe we can get a little bit more from Terrence Mann. Maybe we could look at it from a standpoint of maybe not him taking the role of Paul George, because I don't think he can do that. I don't think he's that type of player, or at least not as of yet in his career. But I think he's the type of player that can boost his averages by a few points. So hypothetically, let's say over his last 4 or 5 years with the Clippers, he's been averaging somewhere around the 12 to 15 range, which that's pretty much where he's been. Somewhere around the 10 to 15 range. If he can go maybe 15 to 17 points per game, that would be an improvement. That if he can do that consistently, and have some games where he hits 20 plus points, during the season and stuff like that, which he had, a few last year. But at the same time, need more. Definitely need more. If he can give more points per game, then do that. That's what you do, because like I said, at this point, it's no need to be shy and pull that trigger. You have more of the green light to go and just, kind of be more freelance on the offensive end. Kind of go out there and let it rip. Don't hesitate, because I think that's something that's holding back Terrence Mann's growth. The fact that he's kind of like, when I watch him play at times, he looked a little shy and hesitant to, take some shots or take some opportunities of taking somebody off the dribble and go straight to the paint and score himself. And he pretty much made himself kind of sort of like the fifth option for the team, kind of like doing the dirty work, getting putbacks and things like that, which I think that was feasible for him in the beginning, maybe the second year of him being with the Clippers. But by now, he should be a lot more predicated with the offense and being involved in the offense a little bit more if they're expecting to, get more production out of him on the offensive end. Now, defensively, I know he's going to, thrive and do well on that end, because I think that's something that, it's been a staple for him since he's been in the league. But at the same time, if he wants to stay a Clipper, which I believe he does, and I believe this is a contract year coming up for him after this season, or they can do some negotiations with contracts, this would be the year for him to actually show out and show up and play a lot better in regards to being more consistent and, just being the another option for them offensively. If he could step up his offensive game, which I think his defensive game is good, like I said, I think they can definitely benefit, from what he can give the Clippers. Now, in saying these two players, Azubuike and, Terrence Mann, of course, there's other players, of course, that need to step up. Everybody needs to step up for this team, for them to be, the team that can compete, against all these other teams in the NBA that are stout and have more firepower. So I definitely think that it's going to be an interesting season for the Clippers. Want to see how it pans out. And, hey, you leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Is there any other players on the team that you think that might need to step up a little bit more than the two players that I named? Let's talk about it.